Hi, this is Dianelovetobake, and what we're going to make are chocolate shortbread cookies. This recipe is relatively very quick and pretty easy to put together. So let's get started. First, start off with 1 cup, meaning 2 sticks of butter. I've had it at room temperature and I've cut it into small pieces so that it will cream and break up easily. You can use your hand mixer if you prefer. I like the stand because I think it's quicker for the video. So we're just going to break up that butter and start to cream it. The next thing we're going to do is put in 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. We want just the butter and the sugar to come together. I'm going to raise my speed a little bit here. Okay. Now once you've done that, then we're going to be using flour. So you're going to need 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to put just a little in at a time. And now add a little bit more. Now when you're combining this, it's going to look very dry and crumbly. You're probably going to think that, well, you're doing something wrong, but you're not. Just stay with it. Put a little bit more, and I'm going to raise my speed a little bit. Put a little bit more flour in. And we'll put the rest of the flour in. Okay. The last thing that we're going to be putting in is 1/2 cup of unsweetened baking cocoa. Now this too, your mixture is going to look crumbly and dry, but it's all right. I'm going to add a little bit more, and then it actually will start coming into a cookie ball. All right, that's the rest of the unsweetened cocoa. I'm going to raise my speed a little. So the sound's going to go up a little bit here. Okay. Now I'm just going to take my paddle off, take my excess off the paddle, and then we'll set that aside for the moment. Okay. And now I'm just going to kind of clean the sides of my bowl, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like. Okay, and now you have your cookie ball. Okay, so as I said, when you start beating it with the mixer, it'll look very dry and crumbly, but it will come together and make the cookie dough that you want. Now you're going to lightly spray your cookie pan, or you can use parchment paper if you prefer. And what you're going to do is you're going to take about a 1-inch ball out of your dough, probably about the size of a golf ball, maybe a little bit smaller than that, and just roll it in the palms of your hand, and then just lightly press with your palm. You don't want to make them too flat, but you don't want them to, to be totally round. So again, about 1-inch ball, roll it in the palm of your hand, and then lightly just press down, and then you'll have your little cookie. Now they won't spread out too much, so you can put them about 1 inch apart or so with no problem. Let's do one more. We'll just roll that 1-inch ball in my hands and then lightly just press it down. Now you can use your fingertips, but I find it leaves the imprint And if that doesn't bother you, use your fingertips and you don't have to press them in your palm. Now you're going to bake these at 300 degrees. And they're going to take anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes, depending on our oven. So start watching them. You know, I like to start watching mine around 25 minutes just to make sure that they're baking up nicely and that type of thing, okay? Now, when they do come out of the oven, though, just set it on your cooling rack for just a minute or two and then remove the cookies onto the cooling rack. Now, what else I also did, I want to show you. Let me rinse my hands real quickly here. I want to show you how they bake up. Now, they're going to make you about 2.5 dozens, depending on the size, okay? That's how many you should get from the recipe. And this is how they turn out. Now I want to show you what they look like without the white chocolate, which I melted on top. They actually will bake up like this. They'll have a nice crisp top and bottom, nicely brown. And then when you break them open, they will be a semi-moist, yet have a little bit of, when you do break them, you'll hear that they're crispy. So they've got a really nice center, but they have your traditional shortbread texture to the cookie. They're a great tasting little cookie. What I did was, though, you don't have to do this. You can certainly just bake them up and plain as I just showed you. Or what I did was I took 1/2 cup of the white morsels in a bowl in the microwave with 1 teaspoon of solid shortening, and I melted it, and then I just drizzled that white, the white chips over the cookie, and it gives a, you know, a pretty presentation. And then you have the taste of white chocolate with the chocolate shortbread. And they make a pretty cookie that way. So here you go, a pretty easy and a quick recipe. Give it a try. If you do and you like the recipe, well, leave a comment, because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, I'd like to thank you for watching Dianelovetobake, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon.